But one time I was like in between classes when she came, so she met me.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, honey. Mary's feeling a little nauseous, but she's doing her best. Mary stayed home and rested this morning, which I think her body needed.
I was so bummed out though.
She wanted to come to church, but I went to church and had a good morning, and now we're home and just having kind of a low-key, relaxed day. It's kind of beautiful. We have the windows open and warm airs. Yeah, crazy. But I just ran and picked up some dinner. We got some Thai food. We got pad Thai and pad siu. And
we need to reaccess and do IVIG. So my meropenem is going to be delayed for those hours that IVIG is talking about.
Yep. So once her Cipro's done and she's done her vest, we'll de-access her port and re-access and get going on the IVIG. And we're back. And Mary's hooked up to IVIG. We re-accessed her port. We did all the things that we just said we were gonna do. And blood pressure, temperature. There we go. Pump.
All right, I'm all good. Okay, so this is my pump for meropenem. It is programmed for the exact rate of milliliters per hour for my meropenem. But I also have a pump for my IVIG, different pump.
With a different program.
Different program, different pump.
Same pump, but different pump.
Same brand.
Same brand.
And then here's my IVIG. I never know, like, oh, and then of course I've got this pump as well. I never know, like, should I pick up the camera when I'm, whatever, when we're, like, accessing my port? They've seen that before. Like, I don't know. So, whatever.
Got it all hooked up.
I did the transfer. I actually tried it a little bit of a different way this time. It didn't work great. I tried using this 60 ml syringe to pull out of the jars that they come in.
Instead of like doing gravity pull?
Right, because it hasn't been working. I have to like sit there and like, kind of like, but it didn't work great. So I'm going to stick with
gravity it is.
Yeah. I just took Benadryl, so
we're just going to relax, which we need. So.
Yes, and Peter was like, I'm so tired. And I was like, that makes sense. It's a big week.
Yeah.
And so maybe it worked out just perfectly that the day after we get back, I'm doing IVIG and we have to be in bed.
Perfect. We'll see you guys in a little while.
Did you bring your doggy for the party?
Live stream party with the doggy.
The Benadryl has worn off. IVIG just finished. Empty bag. So I'm actually gonna, the way the timing worked out, I'm gonna be hooking up my Cipro, and then I'll hook back up to meropenem when that's done. I guess I definitely see the benefit from having like a double lumen port, having two separate accesses, but that means 2 needles going in. Ouch. But yeah, I guess the benefit would be you could run the continuous medication, meropenem, at the same time as IVIG goes in. But like, the interesting thing to me is, my question is the contraindication like the medications crossing paths in the line, or is it that the medications can't be in your bloodstream at the same time? I'm assuming it's just crossing in the line, because sometimes when I have an IV pole, like at the hospital, with a couple different medications, they can't just wire them in together. I'm guessing that's where the issue is. I don't know. If you're a nurse, let me know.
Hey guys, I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm wiped out. I didn't anticipate like the toll that the conference that I was at this week would take on me. Just like exhaustion wise. I was like, oh yeah, it'll be a refreshing conference. In many ways, like, it was refreshing for my soul, but for my body, like, it was just early mornings and then IVs. When Mary's on IVs, it's just like a rigorous schedule for us. Not that it's like anything real crazy, it's just like often staying up later to wait for an IV to finish and getting up earlier than I would need to start an IV, and so I'm just wiped out. And so we've rested today, and tomorrow we go to CF clinic, and I think after a good night's sleep I'm going to be basically I'm looking forward to going to bed. And Mary's upstairs doing her best, getting ready, and we're gonna do blood work tomorrow and see what Mary's numbers are. A little bit more, but are still pretty much stable. Or at least are still at a good spot for her to continue on IVs. This was, we checked her blood work, what was that, Thursday we went while we were up on the North Shore. So, hopefully it isn't continuing to trend down. I'm thinking, because it kind of like was in the same range, that it'll hopefully be okay tomorrow, and we'll just keep on going with these IVs. But anyways, life is crazy, guys, and I know a lot of you guys are going through crazy things in life, and know that you're not alone. We hope that these videos can be an encouragement to you, whatever life looks like, whether it's health stuff or the busyness of family or relationships or work. We hope these videos can just be an encouragement to you, and hopefully maybe provide some perspective in terms of there's joy to be found in the journey. And sometimes I need people to surround me to remind me to keep going, to focus on what matters in life. And if any of you are interested, I preached this morning on a psalm, one of my favorite psalms actually, Psalm 139, and Mary's talked about this psalm, and especially in how it speaks to her relationship to God in the midst of having CF. And anyways, that sermon will be up on my channel today, and if you're interested in watching it, yeah, I think there's nothing really novel or hugely profound about the sermon. It's one of those sermons that the message of Psalm 139 is simple, and yet it's something that's, as they've come in while we've been away, but things like Mary's prints and stuff, and the stuff that we fulfill from our home, we will get rolling on getting those shipped out. Alright, I just switched from Cipro to hook up my new Penem bag, and I went to flush my port, and it was really flushing stiffly, which makes me nervous because Peter made the point that last time we accessed my port, it was hurting, and it was after I did my vest that the needle kind of shook out of place because it must have been in the wrong place to begin with. So I'm gonna I was just thinking, it's infusing, like it's working, but my line pressure, it seems like it's not. Like has it like the machine, the pump itself, like tells you, see how it.
I did just do this, but I'm doing it again. Oh.
Yeah.
I wanted to see if we got blood return. Oh yeah, there is.
Okay. Well, we'll just keep going.
Yeah, I don't want to reaccess, but
I know, honey.
We will if we have to.
Yeah.
But it was the next day that we had to.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Hopefully it makes it through the night, so that we can get a good night's sleep.
Yeah. The beeping last night, it was low battery at one point, so I changed the batteries and all the things.
Port problems.
Hashtag port problems. I'm hoping that tomorrow's blood work can be done out of the port, because the last 3 blood draws, I don't usually bruise very much from blood draws, and the last 3 like have bruised pretty significantly. So it'd be great if we could do it out of the port, and since we'll be at the hospital, they have qualified people to do it out of the port.
A lot of you guys have asked why we don't have a home nurse come and draw blood, and the main reason is that we have trouble with our insurance getting that covered, and so
it's through a different, so like the home nurses I used to have, the way that insurance was set up, it was the people who send me the IV supplies, they have their own home nurses and they send them out. But the way that the insurance is set up now, you can have the IV supply company, but the nurses have to come from a separate. And I have found, and would you agree on this? For us, like, being able to run to the phlebotomy place on our own time is sometimes less stressful than
coordinating with the home visiting nurse.
And then if she gets stuck in traffic, then we're
stuck at the house, and yeah.
So I think it's just different times of my life. It's been better. Like,
yeah.
When I was in college, we had a home nurse who would come to my dorm. I had a home nurse who would come to my dorm, but like most of the time I did my port stuff by myself. But I remember a few times she would come to the dorm to draw blood. But one time I was like in between classes when she came. So she met me, in, by the Commons, in that bathroom on the 1st floor.
That's funny.
It seemed a little sketchy to me, but it was clean.
Really funny.
It was fine.
Just kind of random.
Yeah, but for us right now,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it would definitely, like, it could be easy. Like, there's days where she needs blood work, and it would be nice to have that home visiting nurse.
Right.
But by and large, we just don't mess with it.
Yep.
I guess, so the ideal scenario is me getting phlebotomy certified and doing all the blood work ourselves, which is actually something we're trying to make happen.
Yeah. When I went to college, when I first went to college, my Maryland team set up for me to be able to do my own blood work through my port, and showed me how to fill out all the paperwork, and here's how you pack it in the cooler box. And so I was like all set and gung-ho ready. And then we got there, and the Chicago team, I don't know if it was my CF team or my home care team. I think it was a home care. And they said, you can't do this by yourself. So we were like, no. So maybe we'll figure it out someday, a way that it would work for us.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. See. But until then, we will...
Well, tomorrow we go to clinic, and we'll get blood work there.
So,
and
we'll take you there too, and
as always, we will see you tomorrow. Good night.
Oh, and sleepy, sleepy boy.
Oh, yes. Time for the after party. We'll get a shot of his bum, his little paws, his front paws, and his cute little nose. Say goodnight to the people.